Ever wonder how some biker trends even became a thing? Across the UK and Europe, riders have picked up some habits that range from weird to downright ridiculous. Some started with good intentions while others just make no sense. You've probably never heard of a few, or maybe you have but overlooked how absurd they really are. So, here are 10 biker trends happening across the UK and Europe that honestly need to just disappear. Number 1. Oversized chicken strips obsession. In the UK and Europe, some riders are weirdly obsessed with chicken strips, those untouched edges of the tire that supposedly prove how hard you corner. The smaller your strips, the bigger your bragging rights, right? Wrong. This ridiculous trend has led to people riding way beyond their skill level just to scrub their tires to the edge. Riders are leaning harder than necessary, sometimes dangerously so, just to prove they're real bikers. It's a vanity metric that has absolutely nothing to do with good riding. Good riders focus on smoothness, control, and survival, not how much rubber they can wear off at a roundabout. Tire wear depends on a million factors: bike geometry, tire shape, road conditions, even body position. Having big chicken strips doesn't mean you're a coward. It means you ride smart and stay alive. Next time someone points at your tires and smirks, just remember, real riders don't measure skills with tread marks. Speaking of looking ridiculous for the sake of appearances, let's talk about the next trend that's turning heads in the worst way. Number 2, fake adventure bikes that never leave the city. Adventure bikes are built to cross deserts, ford rivers, and scale mountain passes. But across cities like London, Paris, and Berlin, you'll find shiny, dirt-free adventure bikes stuck in traffic, sporting chunky tires, crash bars, and off-road lights that have never seen a mud puddle. It's a full-on cosplay scene. Riders in Dakar-style gear commuting 5 miles to an office job. Nothing wrong with loving your bike, but outfitting a GS or Africa Twin like you're ready for a transcontinental rally when you never leave the M25 is a little much. Some riders even brag about all the off-road mods, while their tires are so clean you could eat off of them. Adventure bikes are fantastic machines, but using them purely as oversized scooters, that's missing the point entirely. If you're never planning to leave pavement, you don't need 3 aluminum panniers and a 30-liter fuel tank. Sometimes less is more. If pretending to be an explorer wasn't enough, the next trend takes pretending and danger to a whole new level. 3. Riding with no gear because it's hot. When summer hits Europe, something strange happens. Bikers shed their gear faster than tourists at Ibiza beaches. Shorts, t-shirts, trainers, you'll see it all flying down city streets like it's a beach party on wheels. The excuse? It's too hot for gear. But guess what? Asphalt doesn't get softer when it's 30 degrees out. Sliding across the road in flip-flops doesn't hurt less because the sun's shining. In places like Spain, Italy, and southern France, it's become a weird badge of honor to survive summer without proper gear. Some even brag about how far they can ride without gloves or jackets. Newsflash! Skin grafts aren't a great look either. Yes, summer heat sucks. Yes, riding in full gear can feel like torture. But armored mesh jackets, ventilated gloves, and breathable boots exist for a reason. Sweat dries off, road rash doesn't. Riding gear is like a helmet. You don't appreciate it until you really need it, and trust me, you will need it one day. But if you thought risking your skin was wild, the next trend risks your bike and your entire ride just for the sake of Instagram. Number 4, stunning in heavy city traffic. In cities like Barcelona, Rome, and Marseille, it's becoming weirdly common to see bikers pulling wheelies, stoppies, and burnout tricks right in bumper-to-bumper traffic. It might look cool for 5 seconds, but it's reckless, disruptive, and just plain ridiculous. Traffic's already bad enough without turning rush hour into an X Games audition. Stunning is meant for closed courses or empty car parks, not weaving between families on scooters and tourists trying to cross the street. It's gotten so out of hand that some European cities have started deploying undercover police on motorcycles just to catch street stunners. Heavy fines, impounded bikes, and license suspensions are now routine. Wheelies are fun, we get it. But doing one between Fiat Pandas and tour buses? That's not skill, that's asking for an ambulance ride. If you really want to stunt, book a track day or head to a closed lot. Urban Chaos isn't the place to play Fast and Furious Moto Edition. While some riders are busy showing off, others are wasting a fortune trying to copy a style they don't even understand. Number 5, over-accessorizing cafe racers. There's something truly British about the cafe racer culture. Stripped-down bikes, minimalist style, raw riding spirit. But today, in cities like London, Manchester, and Brighton, cafe racers have turned into overpriced, over-accessorized fashion products. Every inch of some bike is dripping with unnecessary parts, gold-plated bolts, $500 vintage headlamps, handcrafted leather tank straps that serve no purpose whatsoever. Riders spend more time polishing brass accents than actually riding. It's no longer about speed or soul, It's about Instagram photo shoots and Shoreditch. Some modern cafe builds are so overloaded they're heavier than stock bikes, totally defeating the point. And worst of all, half the owners don't even know how to ride aggressively or appreciate the culture they're trying to imitate. A true cafe racer was cheap, light, and fast. It wasn't meant to look like a vintage museum piece. So maybe, just maybe, skip the designer elbow patches and actually twist the throttle. But if you thought trying too hard with cafe racers was bad, wait till you see the next trend, because it's literally putting the wrong tires on the wrong bikes. Number 6, fitting knobby tires on street-only bikes. Over in parts of Germany, Switzerland, and Italy, a strange trend is taking over. Fitting aggressive off-road tires on pure street bikes. It might look rugged, but it rides like a nightmare. Knobby tires are meant for loose dirt, gravel, and muddy trails, not tight, wet European cobblestones or winding autobahns. Yet somehow it's become fashionable among city riders who want that rugged Dakar look without ever leaving the tarmac. The result? Terrible grip on wet roads, increased braking distance, sloppy handling, and lots of confused mechanics scratching their heads during tire inspections. Even worse, some riders think having chunky rubber automatically makes them enduro experts. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Tires are your only connection to the road. Sacrificing actual performance for looks is not just ridiculous, it's dangerous. If you really want that adventure vibe, get proper dual sport tires that can actually handle street conditions safely. Your bike and your bones will thank you. From pointless tire choices to pointless gadgets, the next trend is a shining example of tech that no biker actually asked for. Number 7, installing useless performance mods. In the UK, you'll find a surprising number of riders throwing cash at performance upgrades that make absolutely no real difference. We're talking about things like carbon fiber engine covers, fake race-spec master cylinders, and overpriced fuel additives that promise 10 extra horsepower magically. You'll see it a lot in cities like Birmingham, London, and Leeds. Riders with stock 300cc bikes fitted with 500 pounds worth of anodized levers, titanium bolts, and race chips bought off dodgy eBay sellers. It's a strange obsession, spending thousands to make a commuter bike look like a track weapon while doing absolutely nothing to the engine, brakes, or suspension where it matters. What's even funnier? Some of these mods actually make the bikes worse, adding weight, reducing reliability, or screwing up fueling. Real performance comes from real upgrades, suspension tuning, tire upgrades, engine work. Not a flashy reservoir sock. Save your money. Upgrade your skills first. Speaking of spending big for no good reason, the next trend proves that sometimes even your paint job can make you a target. Number 8, riding with illegal race replica paint schemes. In countries like Spain, France, and Belgium, there's a booming trend, plastering your bike in full MotoGP or WSBK team liveries. Think Rossi's Yamaha graphics or Ray's Kawasaki race colors, except slapped onto street-legal machines. Looks cool? Absolutely. Legal? Sometimes not. In parts of Europe, riding a bike with full official race graphics can be considered impersonating a registered race vehicle, especially if it mimics police motorcycles or emergency vehicle markings. Some insurance companies will also void coverage if your bike carries unauthorized logos or stickers that weren't declared. And here's the kicker. Thieves love flashy race replica bikes because they scream expensive mods inside. Making yourself a rolling bullseye on the streets of Milan and Madrid isn't exactly smart. Paint your bike however you want, but if you're going full factory livery, double-check your local laws and insurance fine print. Otherwise, you might be racing straight toward a legal headache. From paint jobs that attract thieves to gadgets that attract absolutely nobody, let's talk about one of the most pointless add-ons riders are still buying. Number 9, installing fake turbo whistler devices. Believe it or not, fake turbo whistle kits are a thing, even in serious bike scenes like London, Paris, and Berlin. These little bolt-on gadgets sit inside your exhaust pipe and make a sad, squeaky attempt at mimicking turbocharger sounds. The theory? Sound like you're riding a boosted superbike without actually spending 10,000 plus pounds on real forced induction. The reality? You sound like a cheap party blower taped to a lawnmower. Turbo whistle devices don't add power. They don't even sound convincing unless you're 5 years old and easily impressed. Worse, they can cause back pressure issues, affecting your bike's performance, and even getting you ticketed for illegal exhaust modifications in stricter EU cities. If you're dreaming of turbocharged power, save up for the real thing. Or better yet, embrace your bike's natural sound, because nothing says poser louder than a fake whoosh every time you hit second gear. Now, if you thought fake turbo sounds were bad, wait until you hear about the trend that makes you wonder if riders have forgotten what year it is. Number 10, wearing outdated 90s race replica gear. In the UK and across parts of Europe, you'll still spot riders rocking full race replica leathers, straight out of 1997. Think faded Kevin Schwantz Suzuki jackets, cracked Valentino Rossi AGV lids, and neon green Kawasaki boots that haven't seen leather conditioner in decades. Sure, nostalgia's cool, but riding around in 25-year-old worn-out gear isn't just a fashion disaster, it's downright dangerous. Old leather loses its abrasion resistance. Vintage helmets, the protective foam inside degrades over time, meaning it won't do much in a crash. And don't even get started on gloves and boots where stitching has given up years ago. You might look retro and hardcore, but one good slide across the asphalt will expose just how outdated your protection really is. Want to honor the golden era? Modern brands offer throwback designs with today's safety tech. You get the vintage vibe without gambling your skin. Because in the end, protecting your body is cooler than looking like you just stepped out of a dusty 1996 MotoGP fan club meeting. And there you have it. 10 ridiculous biker trends still popping up across the UK and Europe. Some are funny, some are cringeworthy, and some are just downright dangerous. Have you spotted any of these out on the roads? Or maybe accidentally been guilty of a few yourself? No judgment here. Just drop your wildest sightings or confessions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, then make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and stay tuned, because the world of biking never runs out of crazy stories.